Talkin Blue Live. Talkin Blue Live. Cubs Dodgers. Cubs Dodgers. It was a split. I went to every game this series. Just got back from this one. Went to every game this series, people. I saw all 4 games with my own 2 eyes. I didn't use any sort of like sabermetrics while I was watching. Just kind of watched. Love sabermetrics though. Totally respect it. Like the idea that that's what people do. But I didn't use it today. I just watched the game live. Oh, and it was not so sweet today. It was not so sweet for Dodger fans today. Lot of punches being thrown, man. It felt like a welterweight fight. Didn't feel like a heavyweight fight. I mean, that'd be Houston, the Yankees, Red Sox right now. Those are heavyweight fights. We're in welterweight fights right now. We're working our way up. So there's a line. Oh, right about there. 323-664-5431. You know who you are. Call in if you're a Dodger fan. We do this show because there's no place for your voice to be heard other than right here. Our audience is growing. People are checking us out. During the show, we get some calls. Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. After the show's done, I pipe it out to different outlets, and it gets watched by Dodger fans. So it's been a good thing so far. Glad to have you part of it. I'm here with today with Hollywood. Hollywood, how you doing, buddy?
What's up, Tom? I'm doing okay.
Now, I'm not gonna put out any airs today. Hollywood is he actually went to the game with me. The last 3 games we went to together, right?
Yeah, I was able to get in town and watch some baseball with you.
Yeah, and I'm going to say that was a very good brand of baseball. There was some booting the ball around a little bit, but those were two good teams going at it as far as I'm concerned.
I think that's going to be a preview of the NLCS. That's what I said just before the season started. I'll say it now. I think they're the best 2 teams in the National League. I think we're looking at that for the National League championship this year again. Well,
clearly the National League is wide open. I mean, it's not like I really do feel like the top dog right now in Major League Baseball is the Houston Astros because they're playing so well. And then you got to give the Yankees and Red Sox credit. Cleveland's up there, and then the Dodgers, and I put the Dodgers in there. Who else in the National League is up there with the Dodgers and Cubs right now in your mind?
Milwaukee's actually got the best record in the National League right now.
I don't count them. Brian Braun plays for them. They don't count. It'll never count again. As long as he's playing baseball, Ryan Braun's playing baseball on a team, they won't count ever.
No. Well, Milwaukee's got the best record in the National League. Atlanta's up there right now. Atlanta, I believe, is still leading their division.
Now, is that going to last?
I don't know, man. Them young kids, that's the thing is they got young kids that they thought were like, a year away, and they're blossoming a little quicker than, even Atlanta suspected they would.
And then Charlie Culberson, the ex-Dodger, every time I look up, he's getting a game-winning hit. I mean, he was a solid player with the Dodgers, but, who knew? You never know these things.
Yeah, he's been clutch, man. And you need a little bit of leadership, a little bit of veteran leadership, easy for me to say.
Yeah.
And him and Freddie Freeman, they bring that to Atlanta.
Yeah. So we watched the whole series. We got to see Kershaw pitch. That was awesome. A lot of home runs. I'm not going to say, we can't do the small ball, big ball chatter because home runs were hit. They were moving the ball around. I mean, it was just all kinds of baseball was being played out there, and it just felt like neither team could demonstrate that they were the superior team in this case.
No, they took a punch, they gave a punch, they took a punch, they gave a punch.
Exactly.
It's like you said, there's that welterweight fight. And at the end, you split the series. And you look forward to October.
If there could be a trade, and the Cubs and Dodgers have over the years always had a great tradition of trading with each other. Can you visualize a trade that they could each make, and maybe they wouldn't do it right now because they're really in stiff competition with each other. But could you visualize a trade where, the Cubs and Dodgers could make a deal and then maybe improve both teams?
See, right now I don't think so. And generally when those 2 teams have traded, it's because, let's be honest, the Cubs were out of the race. And So the Cubs are building for the future, and the Dodgers were building for the postseason. Where now both teams are postseason teams, and both teams are built so similar. Where neither one's going to need to add a position player unless they subtract a position player. Both are really could use a starting pitcher, and both could use relief help.
One of the things I really noticed about these two teams is same kinds of problems. A little bit of pitching, trouble. Their closer went down. Some of the same kind. Bryant didn't play this whole series, but neither did Seager. So that's kind of a wash. But Bryant's going to come back. And these two teams seem to have the same kind of, like you say, they're very similar to this year. Have the same kind of issues, and the types of teams they are. I didn't know. I knew the Dodgers, like Kike can play short, he can play center. Bellinger can play first, he can play center. Of course, Taylor can move around. All these guys are they're all like super utility guys. And
once he can play three different infield positions, you can put him in left field. They have exactly what you just said. They have utility players who play a lot of different positions.
So much different than the game used to be. But now we're looking at these two teams, and they're both the same type of team. I mean, you look at I saw Baez play third, short. I don't think he played second today. Did he play second this series? Okay.
He played second today, as a matter of fact.
And then that Hap guy moves around like he's playing, leapfrog. He's everywhere.
Yeah, he started off in right field today. He made the play at third base. And he took a line drive away.
Lots of things to respect about the Cubs team, really. I mean, when a team mirrors you like that, it really does feel like we're just heading for a collision in some sort of playoff situation. I don't know what it'll be, but and then when we do, it'll be a good one.
Yeah, well, let's talk about Kershaw for a minute here. Kershaw comes back, pitches well today. I know fans don't want to see him pulled after 5 innings and 66 pitches, I believe he had, but. Kershaw was on a strict limit today. He's just coming back off injury. And, let's be honest, the Dodgers want him healthy for October. It's not the games in June that are going to matter as much as those games in October.
That's for sure. Now you got like a guy like Buehler, who they're definitely, I think this whole disabled list thing last time is very much about just managing his innings in a way that's kind of less obtrusive. It's like, okay, let's get him some time off, because if it was his ribs, I mean, it sure took a while for that pain to take effect and kick in, and so now he's sat out for a period of time. But if he's only going to get 150 innings, in the season, then this is a good way to kind of go about it. Talkin Blue Live.
Hey Tom, it's Filbert here.
Phil Fountain.
Blue.
Phil Fountain is the creator of Blue, the Dodger Dog. Blue, the Dodger Dog pretty much represents all Dodger fans in some way.
We can't believe we just played the Cubs. We split. It's almost like a waste of time. You get out there, you spend all that time. I went to every game this series, and then they won, and we won, and they won, and we won. And when you're done, you're right back where you started. And I'm telling you, it's great. It's so much. I love baseball, but I'd really like to have some turnout that would work in my favor.
Sorry about that, Phil. So Blue.
Oh, I think it's amazing how you can channel Blue that way.
Well, Blue's like Bugs Bunny for me. Blue's like Bugs Bunny. I mean, he's had too much of an impact on my life for me to ignore him. But now I got wind that you were having some difficulties on your social media world. Did I miss something here? Help me out.
Well, a little bit. First of all, let me just explain a little bit what went on today. Blue was ready for a 12 o'clock game. Now, Blue lives out here in the desert, out in Las Vegas, and he decided he was going to grill up a couple of brats, pour himself a nice cold amber beverage.
Yep.
Sit in front of the TV and stream today's game, and watch Kershaw start, and look forward to the opportunity to take 3 out of 4 from the Chicago Cubs.
Sweet. Blue is ready. Go on.
He's ready. He's having a great day. Now, the first 5 innings, Blue's happy. He's chomping on those brats. He's enjoying his beverage, and then he looks up, and suddenly a 3-1 Dodger lead has become a deficit.
Oh boy!
And the reason for this is because apparently one of 2 things happened. Either Dave Roberts, our beloved manager, who I admire to death, has absolutely no faith in his bullpen, or his hubris is such that he believes that a rookie pitcher can come and make a rehab start or a rehab appearance against a team that appeared in the National League Championship Series just last year.
Somewhat like throwing Daniel to the Lions, but go on.
Well, now this actually didn't turn out too well for the rookie pitcher.
Yes, it did not.
I don't blame the rookie pitcher at all. But there was no one warm in the bullpen to alleviate the problem. Every ball hit off this rookie pitcher. He was coming in after coming off the disabled list. Every ball hit was a rocket.
Indeed.
He was fooling nobody.
Nope.
He was left out there to dry. Now he gives up the lead. Okay. Happens. Now it could be that maybe we overestimated this poor fellow a little bit, but we come into the next inning, the seventh inning, and he's still out there, and there's still nobody warm.
Yeah.
And it's almost as if our side was saying, well, we're happy with the split. Well, it's more important to us to have this rookie pitcher get his work in. It's a bullpen session. So what? It's the 2016 World Champions, the 2017 Central Division champs. We see them in the NLCS every year. But hey, go ahead. Go out there and, just chuck the ball for a while, as long as you feel good afterwards.
All right. So how did this turn into a negative thing then? I mean,
because he gave up a bunch of runs.
Well, yes. I thought you were getting some flack for something you said or did on social media.
Well, that too. But I just wanted to. I'm getting flack for both.
Yeah.
But on social media, so I'll let that go.
Yeah. All right. Well, let me just chime in on your Bueller feeling, because it's 162. Here I go kind of like this. It's a 162 game season. They basically said, okay, he's got to get in here at some point. The score was tied at the time or close at the time that they put him in there. Kershaw pitched 5 innings, I think, gave up 1 run. Bueller comes in.
It was 3-1 Dodgers when he came in.
Yeah, okay. So then you're all excited because the Dodgers are doing well, but you want to get him some work. Here's my problem with putting him in at that point of the game. First of all, he's a starter, so he's used to starting fresh when the batters are the opposing team are starting, right? Everybody's kind of
top of the order.
Top of the order, top of the inning. Nobody's got to see any pitches yet. How a batter can kind of get to see a few pitches, even if it's not the same pitcher. So now these guys have gone for 5 innings off of Kershaw and seeing some real serious stuff. And then you got to put Bueller in there. Now the batters have had the advantage of kind of getting their eyes, seeing what the light of day looks like. And Bueller's coming in with a bunch of warmed-up hitters, and he's coming off the disabled list. To me, that was, in hindsight, obviously we're right. I mean, if he would have pitched a bunch of innings. But then when it got out of hand, I have to agree with you. It's like, well, but that maybe then Phil, they were just like, all right, leave him in. And by then, because it was when they took him out and brought him out in the next inning, by then they were down by 4 or 5 runs, right? I mean,
right.
So maybe they just figured, all right, see if he can't get some more work in. Not that we're out of this game, but he should be able to get some outs. And man, they raked him today. Every ball hit was on the barrel and hit like a rocket.
Yeah. I mean, he wasn't fooling anyone, and Goodell came in and was even worse.
Yeah.
So, I guess my complaint is that we took an opportunity. I'm one of those guys. If you have a chance to take 3 out of 4 from a team like the Cubs, you give it your best shot. I don't feel like we gave it our best shot today. I really don't.
And I think that's fair. If you're from the manager's perspective, I think that maybe he could have pushed the envelope a little bit more, at least on the pitching.
I tell you what, Tom, if we get to the end of the season and we lose a division or we miss the playoffs by 1 game, I'm going to bring this one up.
Well, also you might this not gonna make you any happier if the season ends in a tie with the Cubs now.
Yeah.
They took us 2 out of 3 in Chicago, and we split at home.
We dropped four of 7 to them.
Yeah, so they're going to get this was kind of like, hey, if we tie in the season, then you're going to get and that's the kind of thing you don't think about until it happens, and then you go, oh, and so.
Well, you know what? I think Dave Roberts should have been thinking about it. I think the organization should have been thinking about it.
All right.
Because it comes down to little nuances like that. You know, hey, who has a tiebreaker at the end of the season? I want to take this series from the Cubs. You know, I'm going to give it everything I got. I'm going to play like a playoff team.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like we did that.
They were definitely playing. It would look like 2 playoff teams. It looked like 2 wild card teams playing each other. I don't see either one of these teams at the top of their game right now. I still think the Dodgers are going to win the division, and I still think they can win the World Series. But
I still think the Cubs will win their division, and I think they're capable of winning the World Series as well.
Yeah.
But to move on to the social media thing, that's something I kind of feel like if I can have a minute to kind of defend myself a little bit.
But what do you first of all, what are you defending yourself from? What happened?
Well, that's what I'm gonna say. There's a lot of folks apparently who object to the idea of the Dodgers. Now that we're in, approaching July, it's normal to start talking about the trade deadline.
More.
And one of the headline rumors out there right now is that the Dodgers are a major player for Manny Machado. Now, I am of the opinion that Manny Machado, being one of the I'm saying top 3 players, but even if you say top 5 players or even top 10 players, is somebody the Dodgers should show interest in, and that they should be thinking about. He's a difference maker. One of the main reasons for this is that the team that is mentioned most often, second to the Dodgers, is the Arizona Diamondbacks. Now, I remember what J.D. Martinez did for the Diamondbacks last year. And I'm sorry, but I would hate to see Manny Machado in a Diamondbacks uniform.
Can I interrupt you for a quick second? Can I interrupt you for a quick second?
Sure.
Hollywood?
Yeah,
So, did you hear what he said about Machado?
I did.
Did you see something somewhere online or somewhere about the Dodgers really are looking at Machado?
Yes, and the report that I just read is that they're right now the favorite to land him, and I'm not sure why I didn't get to read the whole article. I just seen it today. Is that what you've seen as well, Phil?
Yeah, I think the idea being that the Dodgers have the assets available that the Orioles would be interested in, and part 2 of that is that it could be a multiplayer deal in which the Dodgers would also address their bullpen issues by maybe a Britton or someone like that, so that there could be a deal in place that would be very, very attractive to the Orioles. If you were to put in a Verdugo type of player, along with maybe a Ruiz and a couple of the other top prospects, they may be able to pry away, say, Machado and Britton, which would solve the Dodgers' problems. It would make a lot of sense for both sides.
Right, well,
and the Diamondbacks may not be as deep and able to offer as good a package as the Dodgers could.
Go ahead, Hollywood.
Yeah, and that's true. The Diamondbacks did spend a lot of prospects. I'm saying spend because I don't know what other word to use, but they did spend a lot of prospects last year to acquire J.D. Martinez. I think they thought they were going to get him back. But the Dodgers are in a position now to make a deal to get Machado and Zach Britton. That's right, I did read that. And if that happens, you're talking about one of the most dominant left-handed pitchers to go along with the most dominant right-handed relief pitcher in the game. And you're adding a middle-of-the-order hitter. And it looks like it could come to fruition. If it's going to happen, it's going to take the Dodgers a lot of pieces, though. They're going to, like you said, they're going to give up Verdugo. And I know they have to throw probably 2 blue chip pitching prospects in.
Yeah, you're looking at parting with 3 to 4 of their top 5 prospects.
So it sounds
You're
like
right, yeah.
sounds like you guys are saying to trade the present for the future a little bit.
Well, okay, now I want to go to the next part of this because I think that as Hollywood just laid out, the deal makes sense in a lot of ways. Now, the feedback that I've been getting from Dodger fans is that this would be a horrible thing to do. This was you're trashing our system. Machado has an attitude; he's a rental. Blah 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 blah. So I've been defending myself a little bit on that level. But if you think about it, now what I think the Dodgers went through what they went through this year in controlling their payroll and to stay under that imaginary cap in order to be a major player in the upcoming free agent class. Machado is at the top of that class. I mean, he's right there. He's among those that you would be looking for. Now, Dodger fans will say, well, we have Corey Seager. Well, Corey Seager's coming off Tommy John surgery. Okay? Maybe shortstop or even third base is not the best place for him. Maybe there's room for Machado. Can you imagine a lineup with Machado, Seager, Turner, Kemp, Muncy, Bellinger? Yeah, can you imagine that lineup? Would it be worth, say, moving Corey to second or to first or center field? He's an athlete. The idea that Machado and Seager could not coexist, I think, is unfair. I don't think that's true at all. And I am of the impression if you have an opportunity to go out and get a Hall of Fame caliber player, you do it. I don't care. You do it. How can that hurt you? How can going out and getting a Manny Machado? Would you rather spend that money on Bryce Harper? I'd rather have Machado.
Well, I would too.
There's going to be a player in this off season in the free agent class. If you can bring in Machado now and have him for the second half of this season, and with the idea that we're going to re-sign him.
Oh, careful. That's where for me it gets a little unrealistic. I mean, I'm going to tell you the truth with this new ownership group, and them not wanting to hit these caps. I mean, you're almost going to have to make a decision between Kershaw and Machado, and if that's the case at the end of the season, obviously we don't know what's going to happen. But
no, you don't. But at the same time, I think you're underestimating this ownership group, and I think their only concern was to get out from that 50% tax.
Well, that was.
I think they're willing to pay 20%.
Well,
I think they're and I think they're willing to go after.
Yeah, and Jeff Schneider explained that. Jeff Schneider explained that to me very well, and unfortunately, I don't remember exactly the machinations of it. But that's true if they can get through this season. But if they get through this season without hitting that cap, I mean, what if they sign Machado? Does that money go into that cap, and now they're all of a sudden back over the cap because they have Machado for half a year? His contract.
No, they're still cool because Machado is being paid for half the season by the Orioles.
Well,
they're not
Machado,
full salary.
Machado's still on his rookie contract too, so he's still just getting arbitration money. He's not making a real contract yet.
All right. Well, then, so that would be a positive. I don't know. Machado is the problem. Do we need Machado? I mean, what is he going to bring?
Do you not need a Hall of Fame caliber player?
Well, that's a loaded question. It's like, would you rather kill your mother with a knife or a gun? Well, I don't want to kill my mother at all. So, of course you'd take a Hall of Fame player. Of course.
Manny Machado is the equivalent of killing your mother. Then we may have a difference.
No. I'm just talking about giving.
Okay. Let me throw this at you.
All right, go on.
Let's go ahead and look at a lineup that has Manny Machado in it. Do you want to, if you're the opposing pitcher, do you want to face Taylor leading off, for example, and then you're looking at Muncy or Turner or and then Machado, and then Bellinger, Kemp, even Kike. I mean, when you go to the World Series, you're going to be going up against probably the New York Yankees, Boston Red Sox, or the Houston Astros. Those are extremely deep lineups.
Well,
we came within a game last year. What would put us over the top? How would we beat the New York Yankees?
Those are good assessments. I'm interested to hear what Hollywood has to say about that at this point. Go ahead.
I'm gonna tell you what, man. Machado makes any lineup so much deeper. It's looking at it with googly eyes. It's just. I mean, you put a guy like that. But that piece right there, I don't think it's a piece they'd like to have, and it's a great piece. But I think more it's about getting Zach Britton, man, and then your bullpen is so locked down. It's
okay.
If you
and Hollywood, I would agree with you 1,000%. I think our number one priority is to get that bullpen straightened out. That would be number one. That's the most obvious problem.
Let me propose something here for a second. First of all, I want to say this. I say Machado, you say Machado. All right? Now, I got that little stupid joke out of the way.
Thank you.
How about this? You're welcome. How about this?
I plan on using that joke later.
You watch. It'll fly around now and nobody will give me any credit.
Yeah, it will.
All right.
It will.
In fact, if Blue wants to say it, take it. Run with it. All right. Oh, by the way, we'll get to the other cartoon. But here's the thing. How about this? I don't even know if Baltimore would do this. Okay, you want Britton and Machado, and I'm the Dodgers. Here's a guy who doesn't really want to make that trade. Here's what I would trade for that. I would trade Peterson, Puig. Do I got to give up a pitcher?
You're gonna have to give up. You're gonna have to give up a minor league pitcher. And we're probably talking about. I'll tell you who the Orioles want. They want Alex Verdugo. They want Kyber Ruiz, the catcher.
Yeah.
And they want what's his name, the Cuban pitcher.
The number one for the Sixto Sanchez. No, that's another organization.
I
am so sorry.
Well, that's okay. But here's the thing: if it's three guys I never heard of, then let's pull the trigger because, I mean, I know that because I don't want. Here's the only guy I really don't want to give up. I'd rather give up Puig and Peterson than give up Verdugo. When I see Verdugo with my own two eyes, I see a guy that's just an incredible natural baseball player, and I just see.
I love Verdugo as well.
It'd be hard to give up. Would you give up Buehler?
No. Buehler's the only piece of the problem as far as prospects go. If you're going to count him still in the prospect column, and I do believe they do, Buehler is the only untouchable. And the Dodgers held off on trading guys like Corey Seager and Bellinger and Urias and all those guys. They held off. They didn't do it. They will not trade Walker Buehler. I do not believe.
Yeah.
And I don't think right now. I heard reports, and I don't know how true this is, but I heard reports that the Orioles have sent several scouts into the Dodger system. They're out looking at all these guys, because I think it will take 3 to 5 top prospects. The Orioles are not interested in the least in anybody that's currently on our major league roster other than Walker Buehler.
Well, that makes it more palatable. I would say, and I have a very close source that told me that Machado will be on the Dodgers by July 4th. Very close source. But that very close source was my mom.
You know what?
And
your mom is my hero.
Yeah.
I think she is so
She's a close source, but she's a lousy source. My mom doesn't know crap about who the Dodgers are going to go for. Just real quick, we did do who sat behind us, Hollywood? What was his name? Jed
Hoyer.
Jed Hoyer sat behind us yesterday's game. He's a Cubs general manager, and Hollywood said hello to him, and I said, everybody kept coming down saying hello to him. He was sitting in the Dodger family section, which made me wonder about a trade maybe. But everybody was saying hello to him, and I turned around and I said hello to his wife because no one was saying hello to her, and she was a pretty lady. I don't know, I don't know why all these guys come up. All these guys come up.
The tension was thick in there after that. Jed and his wife took it. Jed made his wife leave.
Yeah, he said, "Get away from this."
Good looking Tom over there.
But I said, I want to acknowledge your wife. Everybody keeps talking about you, and what? A bunch of guys going up to another guy and saying hello and thanks. I said, screw it. Talk to the pretty lady, and she's a pretty lady. But anyway, that's kind of an aside.
No, I think and I don't know about by July 4th. I think that's pushing it, but I do think I'd be shocked to learn that the Dodgers and Orioles phone line is not burning up as we speak.
Well, if my mom knows anything, it is happening.
They're such a natural fit, and I do think that the Dodgers would be interested in making Machado more than a rental, and I don't blame them.
Well, of course they would, but that's going to come down to what the next who wants to be with the cat. That's coming with signing Kershaw. I mean Machado.
There's a good chance right now if the season ended today, Kershaw wouldn't even opt out.
Well, yeah, that's right.
No,
although he looked pretty good. I gotta say,
he's guaranteed the money he's got.
$35 million. $35 million a year after that.
I'm just saying his health is an issue now.
Yes, it is. But I gotta say, I've been one of his hardest. Like looking at him, I'm gonna be real skeptical. Not because I deserve to be, but just because I look at I don't. Anyway, I hope he does great. But I've been kind of like real leery about him. But Hollywood, we watched the game today. He looked good, didn't he?
Yeah, big time.
Yeah.
You know what? He looked good, but his fastball command isn't that.
No, and it wasn't up to.
He's got to be a different pitcher.
He will. He's going to have to. Well, you can't throw slider after slider after slider. Your arm will fall off.
I'm just saying that's going to be his out pitch because he doesn't have.
Well, it's been his out pitch, but he can't. The thing is, he's going to have to go to it. It's going to have to go to it early in counts.
He's already gone to it
early in counts.
Three times more than he has in any other season.
Right.
He's also shown less command of the strike zone than he's shown in any other season.
Hey, last time you were on the show, Phil, called and checked things out. I asked you if maybe you were a little down on Logie Bear. I don't like that name, but anyway, can I get a different name for him?
Well, you know what?
Logan Forsythe. Hold on. I want to give you this. This moment here.
Okay.
So Logan Forsythe. I asked Phil. I said, help us turn this around. I mean, I know you're having a hard time with him, but help us. Create some positive energy. Do a cartoon on him. So you did, and it says, "Hey everybody, join us as new members of the Logan Forsythe Marching and Chowder Society." And it says, "We love our Logie Bear. That's why I'm getting him to swing once in a while. Woof! Push." And so you did. You put the positive energy out there, and look what it did. Nothing. He's still.
He wouldn't take his bat off his shoulder.
Oh, he's gonna be the death of me.
Go back and watch his at bats today.
I know. He's playing like a he's in the batter's box. For as good as I love his defense, I'm going to have a hard time defending my position if he can't just, and maybe a guy like Machado coming in move people around such that. Still, you got to have a guy at second base who can turn a double play and make the.
Well,
play.
you know what? Here's what I'm looking at as far as the future, and I may be way out of this. Remember before Corey Seager came up and became one of the best shortstops in the game.
Instantaneously.
Everybody had him playing third. So he's not going to be a shortstop in the major leagues. He's going to play third. Now we've got Justin Turner over there. Now Turner's knees, I don't think can handle second base anymore. So if that's the case, the logical if my little pipe dream of Machado coming over were to actually occur.
Not a pipe dream so much, I don't think. We'll see. Not according to my mom.
Well, if it were to happen, one of the concerns that I'm getting in Twitterverse anyway is that we have Corey. What are you going to do with Corey?
Oh, well, he's not going anywhere.
I'll be honest with you. If I have Manny Machado, if Corey, I'm thinking he's coming back off of Tommy John surgery. His elbow is not what it was. Now, will he recover fully? More than likely.
Every pitcher that gets it comes back better than Superman. Tommy, the only thing about here's the thing about Tommy John surgery for Corey Seager. He's going to get Tommy John surgery, and he's going to be ready to bat before he's ready to throw. He'll be in position to be out there. So if he, like you say, if he could play first base for a little bit, he'll be ready to bat before he'll be ready to get out there at shortstop and start throwing the ball around. So,
but what if you made his life easier? It said, you're such an athlete. You are such you're so good. What if we shorten the throw for you? What if we put you at second base? I know we'd hate to lose Logie Bear. We'd hate to move him. But if you could put Corey Seager, think of an infield of Bellinger, Seager, Machado, and Turner. Okay, just think of that for a second.
I'm a little less thrilled by the infield and a little more thrilled by the batting order. I like the batting order. The infield makes me wonder a little bit, but
I don't know why. You've got a Gold Glove, one of the top fielders in baseball at short.
Yeah.
You've got a more than adequate third baseman in Turner. Corey Seager, I can't imagine him doing, not being able to make the play at second base.
Well, I can imagine him. I can certainly imagine that. I mean, that's not just because you can play shortstop doesn't mean you can play second. But you're right. Well, the transition is easier.
The thing that concerns me about Corey coming back off the surgery, if maybe third base would be the place. Do you think maybe Justin could go to first?
Yes, that would be more likely. But then you got to move.
Let's look at that instead. Let's say we have an infield of Justin Turner at first, Max Muncy at second, Manny Machado at short, and Justin Turner at third, or Corey Seager at third.
Oh, I like the lineup.
I mean, if you go down that lineup and you throw in Puig, Peterson, Toles, whoever.
And like Hollywood says, if Zach Britton is part of a deal like that and you're giving up stuff, maybe 5 years down the road we're going like, oh, that hurt. We traded that young prospect.
Well, all I can tell you right now is, everybody was in love last year. Should we go out and get a starter? I think we picked the wrong starter. We should have, obviously.
No, but no one knew that at the time. Verlander was no one was guessing Verlander was going to get back on the program.
But the bottom line is, are you missing Willie Calhoun?
No, I'm not. Honestly.
All right, that's what we gave up.
Not true.
And I'm not saying that Verdugo is. I heard a lot of people last year say Willie Calhoun is the best offensive player in our system.
What were you going to say, Hollywood?
Well,
you asked.
You
asked if anybody's missing Willie Calhoun, and I said not yet.
Yeah, not yet. That's true.
Okay, that's fair. But we got to Game 7 of the World Series.
Well, I say Machado. You say Machado. I'm going to clear up the line.
All right.
But
thanks for hearing me out.
I love it. You're always a thoughtful. I know you call yourself Phil Fountain. I know it's really Alex. I know it's really Eric Karros. You sound just like Eric Karros. I'm assuming you're Eric Karros.
I'm way prettier than Eric Karros.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Way pretty.
Blue is. All right, buddy.
All right.
We'll talk to you soon. Thank you.
All right.
Be good, man. Bye-bye. Thanks for calling in.
Thanks, Phil.
All right, Dodger fans. There's a line. It's warm in here. I'm willing to hang out there. If you're out there and you know the number, you know the routine, call in. And we're just talking baseball. That's all it is. We're talking Cubs Dodgers today. And apparently Machado. I'm going to call him Machado from now on. I just wanted to throw out something real quick here. I wanted to if you get Sportsnet LA and you watch Sportsnet LA, there's a new big thing going on in LA. Every time Oral or Joe say the word equation, you have to take a shot of something. It could be water, but you have to take a shot because they say the word equation a lot, and it's cool. I like it. It's a good word to kind of explain things, but it's a word that you hear a lot. It's a good drinking game one. So that's it. Hold on. That piece of business is out of the way. And then ageism. Oh, ageism, for you people who are out there saying that other, and no one really says it to me because for my age, I'm a pretty young guy and I can probably, with most people younger than me. Probably not, though. If you're talking about people and judging them because they're old and their baseball knowledge, and you think that because you're old, you know what? You're a bigot. You're a bigot. If you're going to talk about someone that, they just think that because they're old, that's called bigotry, okay? Stop judging people based on their old. I know a lot of young people that feel exactly the way I do about pace of play, about, Hollywood. We were at the game.
Yeah.
I know can't really remember. The Dodger batter was up. It was against the Cubs. Pretty sure it was the catcher. Is that who we kind of narrowed it down to? The bat flip?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was.
So
that was Grandal.
Yeah, it was Grandal. So Grandal's up there. He's up to the plate, and he's in kind of a tense situation. And I've always been advocating for the bat flip after the bunt. All right, I want to see the bunt. I want to see the bat flip because anyone can bat flip after a home run. That doesn't take any balls at all, and it's not really that much fun. Much more fun if after a walk you do the bat flip. I saw my first walk bat flip ever in baseball, and it was Grandal, and he was batting, and it was I think I don't know what the count was. Let's call it 3-2, and
there was a 3-1 count on him, and he thought the ball was outside, and it was called a strike.
So now,
but by that point, he had thrown his bat to the side,
right, and started heading down to first. And the umpire said strike, so he had to come back. Now that's not where the bat flip took place, because in the next pitch, well, sure enough, the pitcher throws ball 4, which he thought was a pitch prior was a ball, throws ball 4, and as he walks down to the first base, he flips the bat right in front of the umpire, like kind of in his face. I'm surprised he didn't get thrown out. But it was the first bat flip after a walk by Grandal, and I wanted to tip my hat to him because as an old guy, I get like, you're no fun, I'm all about fun, but I want to see real fun. I want to see bat flips after walks. I want to see, remember that umpire when he fell down and while he was down on the ground, he called the play, you're out, but he was on his back, right?
Yeah.
I want to see umpires get down and ride and save, he's out. I want umpires to start getting in on it too. I want this fun that everybody wants, including me. I want this fun to spread. And so bat flip after the walk, umpires calling plays from the ground, from their knees, from all 4 knees or their back. That is bringing fun back or into the game of baseball. And the kids will love it. Hollywood, anything? Can you help me?
I just remember the Naked Gun movies with the umpire.
Yes.
He's on strike 3, he's moonwalking.
Yes. That's the
back. Somebody when he calls him out.
You talk about the no fun league. Put me in charge. It'll be so much fun that everybody will hate the game. That's water. All right, there's a number 323-664-5431. Tammy Elias Smith. Tammy, hello. I see you've been watching a lot. Philip Grant. We definitely picked the wrong starter. Philip Grant just turning in. I'm not sure what that means. Phil Fountain says, we'll be in Anaheim for Dodgers-Angels game 7-6. DM me on Twitter and say hi. That's for anybody who's sitting here reading it. We're out. Folks, we do a lot of different, we're on YouTube sometimes. We're on Facebook sometimes. Dodger fans, you tune in, you call in, but most of the viewing happens after all that. And let's see. I just wanted to point that out. I just got so much stuff on here. Let's see. There you are. So today we're on Facebook Live. Sometimes it gets reposted to YouTube. Sometimes we do YouTube Live. And then there's this Twitch and Steam It, which I don't know. I don't follow. But Charlie, Choo-Choo Charlie, are we going to do Steam It sometime? I got the damn sign up here. Okay. All right. Well, anyway.
Sorry, Tom, I'm all out of Cubs glasses. You'll have to drink out of that one.
Okay, good, because I broke all the Cubs glasses. That's delicious. Anyway, that's just water. So there's a number, folks, 323-664-5431. Give me a call. The show's here for you. The reason we do this show is because, first of all, we measure series, which the Dodgers are now in this series, with this series, 11-8-7. We've won 11 series. We've lost 8 series. We've tied 7 series, which is really odd. But that's a lot of series. But we're on the upside on series, so we want to analyze the game based on series. In this case, we did a 2-2 series with the Cubs on home, which okay. But we also do it because you're not going to be able to get through on 570 radio, and it's all commercials, and so the fan voice it doesn't have a place to be heard. And we want to build this into a place where fan voices can be heard. And as you can see, I'll sit here as long as people are calling in, as long as someone wants to talk, I'll kind of let them roll with it, as long as we're having a dialogue. So you're part of the show, and you're the reason the show works. And so what happens, I found out, is when the Dodgers are losing and doing poorly, the phone constantly rings. I mean, there's people. I got one line, and people will call, and I couldn't get through. But when they're winning, everybody's happy, and then I got to kind of do the show all by myself. I'm just not that interesting. I got, I mean, all right, what? Go ahead. Am I? What's that wrong?
By yourself?
I do it with Hollywood and Ron Cervenka, and I'm trying to. And Robitaille helped me out, and Jeff Steiner drops by every now and then. So no, I don't do it alone. But what I find most interesting is talking to other Dodger fans, and there's no dumb point or dumb question. I mean, it's just your take on what's going on. I think my take on this whole series is, these were two teams kind of punching it out, and neither team looks to me like a World Series team right now, but they look like real good teams. They were, going at it with each other. The Dodgers got a good outing from their ace, so that's promising. Machado may be coming. The two teams are very similar. I'm kind of repeating myself here a little bit with the Cubs and Dodgers, but I'm trying to think of some other. Oh, there was another takeaway. There were before the game. I went to every game this series. Before the game, you have people sing the national anthem, and I'm not into boy bands at all, but I know how the game's played. There's producers in town here to try to put little boy bands together and then see if they can't get their boy band to pop. So today, this series, for two of the series, two boy bands that went were singing the national anthem. Hollywood, I think you're buzzing on me a little bit.
Sorry.
So, one of the boy bands was, I think, called the Real World or the Real People.
Nope.
What?
Real Life was one, and then Pretty Much was the other one.
Pretty Much. Okay, here's the deal. This is still Dodger because it was at the Dodger game, but this is boy band talk, and sometimes here on Talkin Blue Live, if you don't call in, you're gonna get stuff like this, but it's not too bad. So there are two boy bands in competition. I hope it's not the same manager doing both, because that's not even American. It should be two different managers, two different boy bands, and they're going at it. So, what was the band's name again?
Real Life.
Real Life.
And Pretty Much.
Okay, if you have a young daughter, and these are mainly for young girls because they're young boys. They're for young girl bands. So there's a band, a Real Life sang, and then a band called Pretty Much. And I'm going to be brutal here. I'm sorry. It's not my position to sit here and kowtow to these young boys' lives. They may prove me wrong anyway. But clearly one band was better than the other. In the battle between Real Life and Pretty Much, it's not even close. Real Life and Pretty Much are two boy bands. I think Real Life is 4 guys and Pretty Much is 5 guys. Okay, now we're talking boy bands. I'm talking Blue Live. Goodbye, Dodger fans. I know you're shutting down. But get with me here. If you have a teenage girl around you, Pretty Much and Real Life, it's not even close. Real Life was awesome. These 4 boys sang in certain harmonies that I know music. Certain harmonies they were kind of creating, very unique harmonies, beautiful harmonies, but unique that I had never quite heard before in the design of their song. It's it's a song I know, everybody knows, but their harmonies were just unique and beautiful. Pretty much sucked. They were maybe a little bit off, but they did nothing unique. They were cookie cutter boy band stuff. I mean, I don't know anything about boy bands except for what I saw there in that series over this period of time. And so if you want to be the cool dad or the cool uncle or the cool aunt or whatever, then Real Life kicks butt, pretty much.
I'm sorry, it was in Real Life.
I'm sorry, my bad. In Real Life, is awesome. Pretty much sucks. Sorry if you're in pretty much. Anyway, I got that out. Hollywood, who was there today in the orange? Every game in the orange. Was he there today?
No, the Marlins man. No, he wasn't there.
Okay, he was there every other game. Is that right? Oh, you weren't there the first game. He was there for all the other 3 games. Marlins man was there, taking up Dodger fan seats. What kind of world do we live in where this guy can come in? I mean, I've never seen him at a Marlins game, but he's always there at the Dodgers games or any other game that I'm watching. And if you're a Dodger fan and he's sitting back there, someone sold out as far as I'm concerned. I don't care how much money you get. You got enough money to buy those seats down there. You got enough money to not let Marlins man sit down there and cloud up our blue with his orange. And besides, it's Derek Jeter's team. And Derek Jeter, well, he did. How did that go? He kicked Marlins man. How'd that go?
Yeah, Marlins man was a season ticket holder, and he wanted to re-up. So we asked Derek Jeter for a 25% discount for the season tickets, and Derek Jeter said, "I don't know who are you? I don't know you. You don't sell tickets. I'm not giving you anything off."
And how many fans did they have? Did they have at their last game? 30?
Well, but now the Marlins man isn't there anymore. I think it's down to 26 or 27 fans there.
So they needed him. I mean, he's quite a high percentage of their fan base. So
yeah, he was a big percentage of the fan base.
Yeah. So all right. So Rachel, this game was a tough one to watch. Yes, it was, Rachel. I get it. It was a toughie. Tammy Smith says cheers again. I'm glad to see you guys are watching. I want people to call and spread the word. I'm going to need a little help. We're halfway through this season now, and I'm going to need a little help with some growth. Like I said, we're okay. If you look at our audience, a little while back, I haven't done the stats on this. Choo-choo? My tech guy here, his name's Charlie. I call him Choo-choo Charlie. So is this pretty much running the same? Up and down a little bit. Okay. All right, so this is pretty much running up and down. But 4,000 people get reached on Facebook. 1,900 views. That ain't 1,900 views. This isn't Major League Baseball where they call attendance or ticket sales. It's ticket sales attendance. It's baloney. Let's not get me started on that. But we're getting hundreds of views, hundreds of Dodger fans. I put this up. We posted in different places to get 100 Dodger fans. But I need you guys to call in. You know why? Because I'm so tired. I can't talk this much. I can't think this much. Hollywood can talk fast. He can talk faster than I can listen when he wants to. Right, Hollywood?
Well, I always say I don't talk fast. You listen slow.
That's bordering on the ageism thing. That's bordering on calling me old, which makes you a bigot if you're going to do that sort of thing. Anyway. All right. So, also, while Blue was putting out, Yasiel Puig did an ESPN thing where he showed off his physique, let's say, and ESPN. It's a little nude thing they do. I really don't know who they do it for. It must be women by the ESPN magazine, and men. Certain men might want to buy it too. Not my cup of tea. I don't. Although it's an incredible physique and body he has. I'm going to go out on a limb and say when he's 45, he's going to be fat. But that's just me being bitter because I don't have a amazing body like he does. But whatever, I'll get over it. So Blue comes out and he does one himself. Blue does one, and Blue's body needs to probably be covered up. Now I know why he wears that uniform. And you got Tommy over there with his, I don't know, that body. Probably actually looks pretty good. But it says...
It's called a dad bod.
Yeah, that's the old dad body. You earn those. Kids today, huh? And then Blue the dog, bod issue. And there he is doing his thing. He's got to be part of pop culture. It's not enough for him just to be a normal dog. He's got to be out there running around, being all part of pop culture and being all part of the Dodger world. But he works hard, and I support him 100%. And I support the Dodgers 100%. What am I missing? I've watched 4 games. I'm waiting for fans to call and kind of talk to me about it. I appreciate the calls we're getting, but I want more. I don't always get what I want, Hollywood. Hollywood, what you saw the final 3 games we went to. What do you think? Let's just sit like we're sitting in the car driving home. What stuck with you? Anything? Put you on the spot a little bit.
with me is I think the Dodgers need another starter. I think they've got enough to be real contenders in the National League, but I think they need another starter, man. And I think they need some bullpen help, maybe a big-time lefty bullpen pitcher.
Yeah,
maybe Zach Britton.
No, and that would be and those are available talents. So I do.
I don't know what starter would be available. I can't think of what starter we were talking about earlier at the game. Trades. So I can't think of what starter is going to be available right now. I mean, I do hear rumors that Jacob deGrom, the Mets might start dangling him.
Yeah, but now you're talking about Dodgers going to get deGrom, and they're going to get Machado, and they're going to get all these players. So my thing is, I feel like if the world goes really well, and sometimes that's what has to happen to teams that go deep into the playoffs, things kind of really have to go your way. That definitely, when you win the World Series, things went your way all the way through. So for the Dodgers to go win the World Series and for everything to go their way all the way through, I see the big lefty. No, drawing a blank.
Yeah. From San Francisco?
No, from the Dodgers. Mr. Blister. Mr. Blister. Oh, why am I drawing a blank on his name? The curveball. He throws the curveballs for strikes. His brother sits in front of us.
Alex Wood or Rich Hill.
Rich Hill, the ex-Cub. I see Rich Hill as the kind of guy who could literally pitch in a big playoff game or a big World Series game, and if he's spotting up his curveball and all six versions of them, he can get out as good a lineup as there is in baseball. He could get the Yankees out if he's on top of his game. But that's one pitcher. Kershaw would have to come back and get healthy. That's two. Buehler would have to keep developing, and we'd have to keep nurse him through his 150 pitch limit. That's three pitchers.
Ryu?
Ryu, I'm not counting on right now. I don't see.
What about Urias? Are you?
I'm not counting on him either. He hasn't pitched all year long, so I guess I tend to agree with you. We need to probably go out and get I don't know if there's a Verlander out there this year, but starting pitching is probably one area we're gonna have to do better on. But the Dodgers are looking good. I mean, the Dodgers are looking like a team that if things start falling together, they're gonna second half they're gonna be fine. And I'm pretty stoked. I think they're going to be. I think they're going to have come around. So let's see here. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, you were just talking. Things have to go well. Things have to go right. Well, things can go well and things can go right from within house, and you get Ryu to pitch well, or just return to what he was before he went down with his injury, and then Urias comes back and he continues to grow.
Urias. Go ahead. I'll correct you every time. You won't care.
Machado.
Yeah, right. Okay. Urias. Yeah. Anyway, let's finish your thought. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so if he comes back and continues the growth, then you never know. They got to, I mean, things got to go right. You just said that. Things have to go right.
Yeah.
So, things go right from within house.
Then it's possible, you're saying.
Yeah.
But look at that. Look at that Houston pitching staff. That's just off the map right now. And Mort kid and then Verlander. I mean, all those guys are just pitching like they're like 10-3. Every pitcher and every starting pitcher, and it's just nuts.
Yeah, they got Cole and Keuchel. And they are deep.
Yeah. So I mean, we got to get as deep as that. Not as deep as that, but we got to at least be able to match that at the top of it to have any hope of. And that's a long way down the road. I shouldn't even think about that stuff. Dodgers.
I just hear Carlos Correa is going to go on the DL though from Houston, but he's a hitter. But,
right. Oh yeah. Okay. Right. But that and they have a lot of that too. But yeah, he's a big part of that.
Oh, he did go on the DL already.
Yeah. All right. So where are we at? We still got this guy. He's there. I don't know. I'm not clamoring for him anymore because I don't see the Dodgers hitting as being too much of an issue right now. They're putting some runs on the board and they're hitting the ball. Billy the Bell Ringer, my batting coach. He'll tell you how to hit the ball. Make that bell ring. That's all you got to do. And like Yogi Berra said, you can't think and hit at the same time. You cannot think and hit at the same time. And you can't think and host a show at the same time either. You just got to kind of not think and just keep going and waiting for people to call. And right now we got a few folks watching. Some people are chiming in. Hamels. Oh, Hamels Hap. Oh, Phil Fountain saying Hamels and Hap. There's a couple. What about, I don't know about Hap, but Hamels, okay. Now he puts you right up there with a competitive pitcher there in a playoff situation. Hollywood. Hamels?
Yeah, he's been there and done that, man. I mean, when he was with Philly in 2009. So, we're talking about older guys here, man. But, Verlander was no spring chicken himself.
Yeah, right. And who knows?
And I don't want to get into ageism. I don't want to get into ageism, so I don't want to call him old.
Oh, no, that's not what I'm talking about. I mean, if you're old, you're old. But if not,
I know, I'm just kidding.
I know, but to assess someone's opinion and their take because they're old or young, bigotry. Any type of, it's just flat out bigotry. All right, I'm going to do one of these. Let's see, you can connect Charlie Steiner and Vince Scully, and so many people out there bag on Charlie Steiner. And you know what? I'm running out of things to talk about, so I'm going to say this: get off his back. Charlie does fine. You want a perfect announcer? Then you must have not really liked Vince Scully in his later years either, because you know what? Vinny wasn't perfect. Vinny made his mistakes, and I'm not comparing Charlie Steiner to Vinny, but announcers make mistakes.
We just lost our audience. Yeah. We talked bad about Vinny.
No, we didn't. There's still thousands of people out there. They're not all watching the show, but there's thousands of them out there. But get off Charlie's back. Charlie does a good job. Charlie loves the game. I mean, of course he screws up every now and then. I've never seen an announcer didn't screw up. And Harry Carey was no, perfect guy either. I mean, I don't know. Where was I? What was I talking about?
Old people forget what they're talking about. Could somebody call in and remind him?
Someone remind me what I was talking about. People, hit the cookie, people. Hit the cookie. We're on here 27 Sundays, 18 Wednesdays, and 7 Thursdays, people. And we're here for you. And the people that are watching and giving feedback, thank you so much. And there's a lot of you out there. I appreciate it. This is a growing experience. If you're the first-time caller, put the word out. I'll let you pick from anything in here you want. If you're a first-time caller and you just go, if anybody calls in right now and says Machado, the next time someone calls and says Machado, call that number, right? Right there. Call that number, say Machado, and you can pick out any one of these gifts and I'll mail it to you. You don't even have to talk. Now I'm begging. How pathetic. I'm begging for an audience. Welcome to Hollywood.
Yeah.
No, I'm just begging for callers because we have an audience. We're doing fine there.
Somebody call me.
Someone call me. I feel like the, I'm not even going to say that because that's going to be bigoted too. All right. So,
hey, but for real, Phil, though, I do like the Hap. Possibly, I like Hap more than I do Hamels. Even though Hamels done that, I like J.A. Hap.
Really?
And Toronto's going to look to move him. He's going to be moved. And they're not going to ask that much. They're going to ask for what they get, but they're not going to get that much for him, and they got to understand it. So they're not going to get the house.
Well, what do you know about Hap? I know he used to be with Philly. He used to be with someone before, and he was not that impressive.
No, but he's turned into a pretty reliable starter, and I don't know his exact numbers this year, but he's having a decent season.
All right.
And I know Toronto's looking to move, but they're going to look to move quite a few pieces. But he'll be one of the pieces they're going to move, and
we'll definitely get something out of that.
Yeah,
we'll definitely get.
He's 10-3, 3.62 ERA, 106 WHIP.
Say that again. 2.6.
Right now he's 10-3. Wins, I get it. Wins and losses don't matter that much, but I think they do. But he's got a 3.62 ERA. He's pitching American League East, so he is pitching in a tough division.
Wow. Okay, I'm a convert now. I haven't followed it that close, but those numbers are good enough for me to feel like he's healthy. I don't know how many innings he's pumping out every game, but if he's pumping out 6 innings nowadays, and he's
looking at 6, 8 1/3, 5, 7, 5, 6 2/3, 7, 7.
Wow, that's really good. I'm gonna guess this is Phil Fountain. I don't know though. Talkin Blue Live. Manchester, Iowa. Where?
Machado. Machiza.
No.
I forget.
No. It's Machado.
Machado.
Call back. All right. If you could call back and say Machado without Manchestering me, I will let you pick. Machado. Did I say Machado?
You did.
So,
Look at you.
It doesn't matter. All right. So I just hung up on someone. Might have been my sister, though, so I don't care. Or my mom. All right. So Charlie Steiner and Vince Scully. Oh, yeah. I'm not saying anything wrong with Vince Scully, except that he's not. I'm just saying get off Charlie Steiner's back. You guys idolize Joe Davis. He sounds like he sounds like, who's that other announcer? Joe Buck. Anyway, he's doing his Joe Buck impersonation. I like Joe Davis. He's competent. He's going to get better. He's young. But don't stop. He's doing a good job. But don't bag on Charlie. Charlie's fine. Charlie does his thing. I know Charlie. You don't know Charlie. Not Choo Choo Charlie. Choo Choo Charlie's back here. I'm talking about Charlie Steiner. And I could connect Charlie Steiner and Vince Scully. I can connect them. This is a little thing that says, somehow do you connect them? This is through some sort of entertainment thing. This isn't about them announcing or playing or anything. So now I got to go to studio mode because I got to peek at this first before you guys get to see. So this is Charlie. And then this. Okay, hang on. Oh, yeah, that's what it is. Julia Roberts connects Charlie Steiner and Vince Scully. And I'll give everything I have in this picture away if you guys can tell me what the two movies are that connect. And I'm not going to give you a lot of time. Charlie Steiner and Vince Scully are connected by Julia Roberts on this site for these two particular shows. And if you win, I'm going to give you, let me see where I'm at, everything in this picture. Everything in this picture. Nobody, 570 isn't doing this. At the Dodger game, you got to guess where between 12 hats what a ball's under. It's almost impossible. They don't want to give a hat away anymore. I'll give away every one of these things if you can just tell me before I tell you. Right? Hold on. There it is. The prizes. I got to click that over. Those are the prizes. Everything in that picture. I'll give you everything in that picture if you can answer this question, and not question if you can tell me on this TV version how Julia Roberts connects Charlie Steiner. Oh, the phone's not ringing yet. I'm going to go ahead and say it. Julia Roberts connects Charlie Steiner and Vince Scully this way. Too late. You can't win anything. It says, America's Sweethearts, 2001, Charlie Steiner appeared with Julia Roberts. I don't know what America's Sweethearts is, but they're connected. And then, Secret in Their Eyes in 2015. I don't know what that was either, but Julia Roberts and Vince Scully, who could resist that pairing? Julia Roberts and Vince Scully, please. So now I've connected Charlie Steiner and Vince Scully, and you people out there who hate Charlie, tough luck. I like Charlie. I'm going to say it proud and loud. I like Charlie Steiner. And if you don't like him, that's okay. You don't have to like him. That's a country we live in. You don't have to like anything. But if you don't like the Dodgers, something's wrong with you. Because the Dodgers have been around a long time in Los Angeles. They've made a lot of people happy. They used to be on TV. And when they were on TV, they made a lot of children happy. And I think the Dodgers needed to be back on TV. And I'm going to just leave this show at that. I've spoken so much, waiting for the calls. And I know people will call. I know Ron will be back, and I know Jeff will be back. I know Frank will be back. One of the two Franks will call in, and then the regular fans call in. That'll be nice too. I don't mean to tear your heartstrings because I'm a happy guy, and I'm happy to do this show, and I'm happy to have a place to talk, and I'm happy to have a place for Dodger fans to call in. That said, Hollywood, you got anything you want to add?
No, let's go get dinner, man.
Let's go get some dinner. All right. I agree. Yeah, at the old ball game. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack. I don't care if I ever get back, 'cause it's root for the home team. If they don't win, it's okay. It's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Go Dodgers, baby.